Liz. Liz. Yes, Amy. What can I help you with? What's wrong? Wrong. What makes you think that there's something wrong? Well, for starters, you left church right at the beginning of the sermon. Do you think anybody else noticed? You were sitting in the front row. I'm sorry, I didn't realize. So, what are you so upset about? Upset? What makes you think I'm upset about anything? You sprang out of your seat, as if you had been stung by a bee. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be so dramatic. Was it something the pastor said? Oh, I am not mad at him. He's a nice man. That's not what I asked. What did you ask again? The pastor's sermon was on prayer. Were you upset about that? No. You're not a very good liar. You really ought to practice more. All right. I'm upset. But I'm not upset with the pastor. I'm upset with God. Okay. Okay so far. I suppose you think I'm going straight to hell because I'm mad at God. Well, to my knowledge, there's no commandment that says thou shalt not be mad at God. There isn't. Not that I'm aware of. So, what's your beef with God, anyway? You're going to think I'm silly. I wouldn't have asked if I didn't want to know. All right, if you must know. I've been praying for the last year for a godly man to marry. And God has been ignoring me. So, when the pastor announced that his sermon was about prayer, I thought, well, this is a huge waste of my time. Been there. Done that. I'm sorry. Why would God do that? God knows how badly I want to get married and start a family. Why would God ignore my prayers like that? Well, one thing I'm sure of. What's that? God is not ignoring your prayers. How do you know that? He died for you. Why would he go to all the trouble to die for you and then ignore you? I suppose you're right. Maybe I'm being too judgmental. Maybe what you are is too ignorant. Too what? Find a Bible verse that says every woman on earth who wants a husband will find a husband. I can't. I have no idea. I'll save you the effort. There is no such verse. God makes no such promise in the Bible. Well, just because God doesn't promise it, doesn't mean I can't pray for it. Oh, you can pray for it. But you have no reason to expect that God will give you something he never promised to give you. In other words, you have no reason to be angry with God, since he never broke his promise to you. Well, what about his promise to meet all my needs? I think you'll have a hard time trying to argue that a husband is a human need. Do you see a lot of Catholic nuns keeling over for lack of a husband? Well, no, I suppose not. But nuns are single because they want to be single. I am not. Well, then, keep praying. But I've been doing that for over a year. When will God answer me? Maybe he already has. What do you mean? I mean, maybe God has already found the man for you. But the man has not finished his education, or maybe he's not mature enough for marriage yet. You think so? Or more likely, since you didn't know your Bible well enough to know what God did and didn't promise, maybe God is not finished educating and preparing you for marriage. By golly, I think you're right. Where are you going?
To listen to the sermon. I need to finish my education and preparation.
Based on a play by Bob Snook. Conditions for use: do not sell any part of this script, even if you rewrite it. Pay no royalties, even if you make money from performances.
You may reproduce and distribute this script freely, but all copies must contain this copyright statement.